Hey guys, what's up? So I am back with another video. If you don't know who I am, my name is Ryan. How you doing? What's up? Hey girl, hey. And so today I am going to be doing a cooking video. I like to cook. Anybody who knows me knows that. That's like one of my favorite hobbies to do. It is a good pastime for me. And I love to experiment. My mom be telling me not to experiment, but she eats every single thing that I make because it always tastes good. So yeah, I like trying out new recipes and discovering new stuff, and yeah, tweaking things so that I can get better and better. So when I get married, my husband don't have a reason to, no, I'm just playing. Just kidding. But no. So today I want to make Zuppa Tuscana. If you don't know what that is, it's basically an Italian soup that has potatoes, turkey, and kale. And then it's in a cream sauce or whatever. This is like one of my mom's favorite recipes that I make. So that is the reason why I am doing it. And plus I really want it. We had the ingredients for it already in the fridge, so that's why I'm just gonna go ahead and make it. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. Onion first. You don't need a lot of onion necessarily. Just do it to taste, honestly. My family tends to like onion. We like vegetables and all of that, so my soup might have more onion in it than what yours has. But like I said, do whatever works for you. That's all I can tell you. About a cup of onion for this recipe. Honestly, like I said, you can add more or less depending on what it is that you like in your stuff. But I feel like this recipe only really calls for that much. At least for right now. You can add more or less, but I'm also gonna add onion powder and all of that as well, so we'll definitely have that onion flavor in there already. So that's more than enough onion for this. I want to say this is like 4 pounds of ground turkey that I'm using here. No, this is 1 pound and 1 pound. It's 2 pounds, my bad, I lied. So 2 pounds of ground turkey for 1 cup of onion. So first we have to add butter and oil to this, because like I said, turkey does not have fat in it. It has fat, but not a lot. Add oil and butter. The butter is mostly for flavor. It's not necessarily for the fat. But the oil is so that turkey does not dry out. And so that it doesn't stick either when you cook it. And then we'll use a little bit of butter. That's about enough right there. So we'll let that simmer down and melt really quick, and then we'll throw in the onion. It doesn't take it long at all. So we can go ahead and throw the onions into there. This is going to intensify the flavor of the onions or the soup. I like to go ahead and add the seasonings that I'm going to put in the soup. Zuppa Tuscana really doesn't call for a lot of seasonings. It's like basic salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and then a couple of other things that I like to put in there just for seasoning and just for taste. You can add whatever you want, but if you're following like a basic recipe, then salt, pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder works just fine. Because you get a lot of the flavor from the turkey and the vegetables anyways. So yeah, garlic powder. And I really don't measure anything when I'm seasoning. I go by eyeball, strictly by eyeball. And not saying that that's a good thing to do, especially if you're learning how to cook. If you have done this recipe a bunch of times, then you kind of know already what you need and what you don't need. My advice is to season to taste, because everybody is different. You might feel like a recipe calls for more salt. You might feel like it calls for more garlic powder, whatever the case may be. So yeah, you do whatever you feel like is good for you. Okay, so I went ahead and added some ground cumin and some ground coriander. Typical Zuppa Tuscana does not call for both of these seasons, but I like to add them because of flavor. I like flavor in my food. That's just me. You don't have to put it in there if you don't want to. Again, season your things to taste. But these seasonings are very strong and they are very fragrant, so you do not need a lot of them. So half a teaspoon is perfectly fine. And then I went ahead and added the ground turkey in. I'm going to turn the heat back up so that this can come ahead and cook. And it's going to incorporate with all the seasons that we put in and the onion. It's hot as fucking here, but I am cooking. So instead of draining this, because again, the turkey does not have much fat in it, I'm going to just take a spoon, these slits in it, and I'm gonna put it in a bowl. And I know most of y'all are probably like, why would you leave, you know, the juice or whatever in? But let me tell you, turkey doesn't really have fat in it. That's what I'm saying. When we add the broth and all that, it's gonna dilute out this little bit of fat that we do have here to use. And it's gonna add a whole lot of flavor to the soup. So that's the reason why I'm keeping it. Very lean meat. But then also remember, we put oil in here, just a little bit of oil, and butter. So that's another reason why we have the liquid that we have here. This is gonna add a lot of flavor to the potatoes. Oh yeah, oh my God. Oh yeah, that's good. Yep. This is a quart of heavy cream. It's low sodium chicken broth. So we're gonna add that in. And this soup is very brothy, so that's the reason why I use the whole thing. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this up to a high heat. And once it starts to come to a boil, then we're gonna add the potato. But you don't wanna over season also. That's possible, and I think a lot of people don't understand that. Like, there's a difference between seasoning too much and seasoning too little. So don't get that twisted. Before you put the potatoes in here, you do want to make sure that they are very well washed, because we're not going to strain this. Like, this is the start of the soup. Like, this is all the elements are going to stay once they go into the pot. And you don't want dirty potatoes or anything like that. Okay, so now we've gotten the cream and the chicken broth to start to boil. So I'm going to go ahead and add the potato. Let me turn the pot down first. So right now it's on high, just because I wanted to get some heat into this. And now we're going to turn it down. We're going to add the potatoes. And now we wait. All right, so boom, it's been about 20-30 minutes or whatever. I spent time editing the video to kind of make the time pass a little bit. So now I am going to go ahead and put the turkey back in, and I'm going to go ahead and put the kale in. You can actually use this, or you can use fresh kale, but I like to use this kind of kale because we like to eat Zuppa Tuscana a lot, and then we also use kale a lot for other things. So it's easier to just get this and keep it in the freezer for when it's time to use it. And then also when you freeze it, it crinkles up a lot better when you're about to cook it frozen. So I'm just gonna break it up a little bit so that the pieces are not so big when we put them in the soup. That is a lot of kale, as you can see, but it's going to cook down, it's gonna wilt, and you won't be able to tell. The same thing that happens with spinach. It looks like a lot when you put it in at first, and then you cook it down and it wilts. And like I said, it is gonna cool the soup down. So we are gonna have to turn this temperature back up so that it can go ahead and warm up again. I feel like I want there to be a little bit more broth, so I am going to take the other container of chicken stock and I'm going to add it in here. The kale really thickens this up as well, but we like to have a lot of broth in ours because I actually like to serve these with breadsticks, and it's good dipping sauce for the breadsticks. So I'm gonna grab the other chicken broth. And that was about half the chicken broth. I'm gonna go ahead and add the turkey back in so that the flavors can incorporate with the kale and, you know, everything else. And I just had the turkey sitting up in a bowl until since now all we're doing is reheating the soup, essentially is warming it back up from when we put that cold kale in there. We don't have to worry about the turkey overcooking or anything. It's not gonna boil, it's just gonna simmer, so that we can bring it back up to a good temperature. Gives the kale a moment to cook down and all of that. I am gonna leave it like medium high so that it doesn't take long to, you know, boil. And leftover chicken broth can be used any other time. I'm just gonna put it in the fridge. I'm pretty sure we'll use it soon because like I said, I cook all the time, so this isn't gonna go to waste. Breadsticks, just because they are a nice way to dip when you are making this. But if you don't have breadsticks, you can use garlic bread, either or. Just the bread in general is a really nice touch to have with this. I'm just coming back to check on the soup again, give it a nice stir. Like I said, we only had filled this pot up halfway when we started, and it's all the way at the top now. So that just goes to show volume control, making sure you know your liquids are right and whatnot, and seasonings. That's why it's really important to season very well, because when you start adding all this stuff, it is going to dilute out the flavor. But because I season in layers, it's not going to dilute it out as much. I love the slow cooker, don't get me wrong, I don't care what anybody says, but I decided to do it on the stove today just because I had the time to stand here and actually make it. And then also I'm hungry. Like, I haven't eaten since this morning, so I want to eat now. If I would have put this in the slow cooker, it definitely wouldn't have been done in time. So this is what it looks like. And I just wanted to show you, like I said, we left that broth in there from when we did the turkey meat. And I just want to show y'all that there's no oil or anything that's like floating on the top that, you know, you would have seen look like spaghetti or anything like that. This yellow that you do see, that's the seasoning, and that is butter. So it's not oily or anything like that, which is what I was telling you guys. Trust the process. And so we're gonna go ahead and plate this up. Alright, and this is the final product. We got garlic bread, and this is the soup. I am gonna taste it for you guys on camera, just so y'all know ain't no cap in my wrap. And yeah, that's it. Alright, so I'm gonna taste it. Even though I already tasted it, but I'm gonna taste it again, because why not? What is given?
Flap.
Right. Nope. And the bitterness of the kale just is so well with this. Like, he over here slurping slurping the broth.
Gotta get some out of there. That's good too.
Mm-hmm. It would just warm up your inside. So, any video, hope you guys enjoy this whole cook with me.
Mm-hmm.
I would do more of these because, like I said, I cook all the time. And yeah, I'm gonna smash this. I got videos to edit. I got homework to do, and then I'm gonna go take a shower. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Be dangerous, stay safe, and bye.
Yeah, I'm about to make him disappear. I don't wanna see no tears. This is only the beginning. Losing is my only